Pen, because I remember the pen. Go away. Hey guys, happy Valentine's Day. Now let's ignore that and go on to Dominion, because there's some Dominion stuff going. You've seen the title. You know it. I'm basically gonna be. Basically, we're here in JWA, and I just added a bunch of dinosaurs that from the Dominion trailer and things I know are gonna be in Dominion, and just threw them into the game. So let's just jump right into it. See, my interpretation, because I'm pretty sure by the time Dominion's out in like June, and then like July we'll get an update, and that'll release the Giga, the Theri, probably a new Pyroraptor. Let's go over what my interpretations of how they would look. Starting with the Therizinosaurus. This is one I'm confused about. I don't understand why it took so long. I don't know why it took. Why is it blue now? Can I change color of this? Never mind. Why did it take so long for them to add Therizinosaurus? Why haven't they added it yet? It's like that's the most popular of this creature. They added 2 Erlicosauruses. Erlicosaurus Gen 2 could have been the place of Therizinosaurus, so I don't know why they didn't add it. But I digress. Dominion's gonna come out, and it's in the movie, so they cannot deny it any longer. So, what did I do? Here's another thing I didn't understand about the Theri line, is why they're all classed as cunning, because those claws make me think fierce. So, while I will get into a discussion more about that when I eventually cover that line, I'm mainly just going to show off the Therizinosaurus here, where I added, well, pretty average stats for your Therizinosaurus. Like, 3,000 health is what they all have. And then 30% crit chance is just something I added because it's like a fierce. Loads of damage. And then minimal speed up strike and precise rampage, but then I added precise piercing impact, which is an ability that does not exist in the game at the moment, but I'm pretty sure this is something that will come to the game eventually. Precise piercing impact, everyone knows how that goes. And then we have resistances. You cannot reduce its critical chance, and you cannot make it vulnerable. But it can be bled, so this is just my take on it. It could be an epic. Therizinosaurus is one of those creatures I can see as either being a rare or an epic. I can't really... But I lean more towards rare, because Erlicosaurus and Erlicogam already take the epic line, and I think this guy would fit in with, like, the second rare Erlic line. And I'm not making it a common because I don't really see a point in making it a common, and I'm not making a Gen 2 variant either. This is one I made a while ago, like I think a few months ago, before my channel was gone. Dreadnoughtus, because actually I think it was even before the prologue, so I had no idea this was gonna be a Jurassic World dinosaur now, but it is now, and it's got some lackluster stats. I'm not gonna. It's like the average thing you get from a Brachiosaur type sauropod in this game. I made it a rare because I do not want any more epic sauropods. Because those things, if they add another epic sauropod, it's just because they nerfed Iguanodon, and now they're making a new unique sauropod to replace both Skuna and Ardentis Maxima, and the vicious cycle will continue, and I don't want that anymore. So I'm making it a rare. Here its stats, nothing too it's just an average creature. I even gave it a long time ago, I gave it a hybrid with Toro. This was, again, wow, that just shows how long ago this was, because this was before the Carnotaurus had so many hybrids. I think it was that time. No, this was before Indotaurus, if I'm remembering correctly. This is before Indotaurus. Yeah, because Indotaurus came out when my channel was taken down or something like that. So yeah, but anyway, this is a wild card. I gave Toro a buff, so I'm not sure if you remember that. These are its stats, but then I highly doubt this would actually be something in the game. This is just my thing. Mostly focusing Dreadnoughtus, if they do add it to the game, which they probably will because it's a Dominion dinosaur, it would be a rare because I really don't want any more epic sauropods. And here's my first common, Lystrosaurus, because I know about this guy because of that little post they made with the Lystrosaurus with the Corona mask. So yeah, I decided what would Lystrosaurus be able to do? It's a tiny little, that tiny dog thing from Ark. I mean, Ark kind of made it a lot smaller than it really is in real life, but still, it's a pretty small animal. So I gave it, I just made it your typical healer guy. Resilient strike, lesser group heal, not 1000 attack, because that's the problem with most healers, is that they have base damage, which is very bad because that means they won't be able to heal the team enough, which is just not good. Which is why a lot of the uniques actually have good healing stats, because they have like over 1500 damage and then they can just heal a lot. Counter power heal, that may be nerfed, but it's still useful for a common like Lystrosaurus, and just a good number of resistances. I have not given this thing a hybrid, but I'm wondering, well, Lystrosaurus is kind of weak. And I'm not really sure this thing, like, what can I... This is a brand new animation, and you can't just have, like, a Lystrosaurus with a unique animation. You gotta give it to another creature that has the same animation. Who would that be, though? Enter the Bulbasaurus. I watched a video. Apparently there is now a creature called Bulbasaurus. And I love it. I know I don't think it was actually intentionally named Bulbasaurus because of Bulbasaur. Something about because of its name had meaning or something, but still, everyone's just gonna call it the Bulbasaurus. It's the Bulbasaur It's the Pokemon creature. It has about the same thing, except it has like a greater emergency heal, group warning squeal, which is exclusive to Andrewtherium, was it? I think that's it. Counter power heal again, and a ton of resistances, because I feel like it's been ages since they've added a creature or anything in this game that's just like Indominus or Triastronus, where they're just fully resistant to something. They don't do that anymore because it's like, oh, everything needs to be balanced and whatnot, or whatever. Well, things do need to be balanced, but it's, you know, I wouldn't mind if they added a creature with like regular abilities like Resilient Strike, Resilient Impact, Resilient Rampage, and then some okay stats, but then its key was all the resistances, because that's pretty much why I have Indominus on my team. It's got some pretty okay moves and some okay stats, but its resistances are what is why it's like my most successful dinosaur. And it's not immune to distractions because, because, as I said before, the reason I never understood why Doedicurus has a distraction resistance actually no, Doedicurus doesn't count anymore because it has the Celebrating Rampage, so that counts. But then it's like, certain animals like Parasaurolophus Lux, that creature can, cleanse distractions with all of its abilities, and it still has a distraction resistance, and I just don't understand why. This one is the same thing, except probably you could benefit from a distraction resistance as greater emergency heal. If I'm distracted and I'm healing someone else, then he's gonna heal less, so yeah, you probably could benefit from a distraction resistance. I also gave it a hybrid with Limbo, because I thought, why not? I might rework it in the future because I made it so it can't heal. It's more of a ready-to-crush group shatterer, which I like, but then it's like, yeah, I probably should incorporate some form of healing in you somewhere. Quetzalcoatlus is already in the game, but I wanted to point it out anyway because because it's in the movie, and I actually didn't think it was gonna be in the movie. I thought it was just a prologue exclusive, but I probably should have caught on from the way there were teasers of them making a toy of it, and I'm like, why would they make a toy of something that's only going to show up in the prologue? But then, now that I'm thinking about it, I'm just wondering how much of the prologue, because now that I've seen the trailer, and I'm seeing all these prologue dinosaurs and creatures just coming into the main movie, I have to wonder how much effort they actually put into the prologue, because we see Rexy in a brand new coating of feathers, but then but the Giga was exactly the same, and that felt out of place. Then again, there was also Pteranodons and Ankylosaurus, but then everything else looked good. And now I'm thinking, because the Quetzalcoatlus looks exactly the same in like the plane shot and the prologue shot. So I'm thinking, did they actually change any models for the prologue, or did they actually just keep them all the same? Because that kind of diminishes how I feel about the prologue, and it just really shows that not too much effort was put into like making things accurate there, because that means the only thing that was changed was the T-Rex. So if Dreadnoughtus and Oviraptor and whatever that tiny thing was shows up in the movie, then it's like, yeah, that kind of well, Sayat, the little dude is getting a toy, so I guess he's in the movie too. Morris Intrepidus, that's his name. Morris. So yeah, they're in the movie. Enough about me ranting about the trailer, about how the trailer affects the prologue, because the prologue is no longer canon. It has been cut. So yeah, whatever. Anyway, moving on. Kevin, what's wrong? One moment, Kevin's acting up. Okay, Quetzal. I've already covered Quetzal in a previous episode. Is this really? Did I not change you again? Never mind. This is how I portrayed Quetzal in a previous episode, episode 3 was it? I don't think they would actually make a Quetzalcoatlus Gen 2, because this one, even though the only difference is that that one is fluffy, and this one is like, you know, if they ever make an event, a Dominion event, they're just going to throw in this Quetzalcoatlus. It's going to be the same. So I really don't think they would add a new one. Pyroraptor, on the other hand, could possibly get a Gen 2, because this Pyroraptor is very different from the one in the game, because that one's yellow, and then the one in the movie is like has a super rich coating of red feathers, and I really like the look of it. Might be one of the things I'm actually looking forward to the Pyroraptor a lot more than I am the Atrociraptors, which is actually, no, not really that odd, because I do love my fluffy death chickens. And honestly, the Pyroraptor was, I'm not gonna lie, that was actually a genuine surprise for me, because I saw it in toy leaks, but then I saw it in, like, I didn't see any leaks. I knew it was gonna be a toy, and I saw rumors of it in Dominion, but I'm like, wait, but then we have the Atrociraptor, so are they adding, wait, what? Because I thought, oh, maybe that Pyroraptor thing was just a rumor and they're adding Atrociraptor, but then nope, there's a Pyroraptor. And apparently his toys caused a lot of trouble for a lot of YouTubers, which, not cool, Mattel. If you want people to like you, that's the kind of thing you do to make people hate you, which a lot of people already do because of your cutting corners and what you did to Thomas and Friends, so yeah. Anyway, if they do make a Pyroraptor Gen 2, which, again, there's a good chance they might not, because the Pyroraptor in the movie has a very similar coating of feathers to the Deinonychus in this game, so they might not make a Gen 2, otherwise it might... If they do, it might end up being a rare, but I'd rather it be a common, because there's already so many raptors in this game, except for the common tier. Although, I would rather not have a Gen 2, I'd rather have a new raptor, like... Well, actually, if I have a Gen 2 of anything, it'd be Utahraptor, and that would be an epic. But anyway, what about... I can't really think of any other raptors, but I'm sure you guys could, because it seems like my audience has a greater knowledge of dinosaurs than I do. For example, the Megalosaurus. Apparently, I found out the Irish elk is Megalosaurus. And unfortunately, the reason I found this out is because of this awful movie I watched on Netflix about magical Megalosaurus who spend 5 minutes tap dancing. Yeah. Flightless strike and high pounce. Nothing special here. But then, speaking of Pyroraptor, if there is no Gen 2, I do want to shed some light on the original Pyroraptor and give it a bit of a buff. For example, I boosted its speed. There's a little something to keep in mind for when I eventually do the Raptors. And then I also added Lightweight Pounce, which is a new ability I made for it. Remove Cloak, remove Dodge, attack times 2, removed, reduced damage. Basically a Raking Pounce. I did not add a delay on it because I might change the delay on Raking Claws because it doesn't really make sense why there even is a delay on it. But anyway, also minimal critical counter. And distraction resistance. Just making this thing a slightly bit better. Also, I really do like... Is this the same face as the one in the trailer? Let me go check. No, I'm not going to check. Someone else can tell me, but maybe I'll check later on and then I'll see. But it's close. Just give that thing a red coating and you basically have the one from the movie. Here's a Atrociraptor, another common. The Atrociraptor is probably, again, like, strangely, it's kind of ironic because it just feels like they really are, they're basically set up to be a knockoff of the Raptor Squad, and that's kind of why I'm not really looking forward to them, because it's like, you're introducing a brand new Raptor to be a Velociraptor. To basically be a Velociraptor. Like Pyroraptor, that one stands out from Velociraptor because it looks different. It's feathered. It's smaller, I think. I think it's smaller. It looks... so you can distinguish it from the Velociraptor. But then the Atrociraptor is basically just a maybe slightly bigger, buffer, weirder, different, slightly different facial features raptor. So it's like, yeah, I'm not too excited about seeing these guys, especially since it's like, yeah, they're just, I honestly would prefer a Pyroraptor pack, or a Utahraptor pack, hint, hint, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. I really love Utahraptor, it's my favorite dinosaur. Anyway, distraction and high pounce, that's all I gave it. Nothing special for you, you're a common. Because Ghost is gonna get all the attention. I found out, okay, here's a funny story about the Atrociraptors. Just, every time I saw that spoilerific image of Owen riding away from an Atrociraptor, I always saw that image, and for some reason, the image of the Atrociraptor never stuck with my brain, and that's probably because it was just a static image, and it wasn't a very clear image, so I never really got to see it in action. Actually, it's actually the same thing for a lot of things. Teasers of pictures of the Giga, pictures of the new Para, none of those stuck with me until I saw them in the trailer. Or the prologue. I mean, I saw the Giga in the prologue, and I'm like, whoa, that thing looks so weird. I'll talk about more about the Giga later. Ghost? I was just like, I lost my train of thought. Anyway, here's Ghost. Has average stats, 133 speed. You can see there's a little hint. Another big hint on what I'll do when I eventually get to the Raptors. Group accelerated cutting strike, clever pounce. That's another, oh my gosh. This is gonna be so out of context until you actually see my fixing the Raptors video, which I will probably be soon. Not right away, that's probably gonna be episode 14. What am I planning? Like, this is 11. 12 will be Spinosaurus, 13 will be something else, and then the Raptors will come after that, and then we'll do Discord ideas again, as usual. Impact and run, and, wow, that's a lot of resistances, actually. I gave you some deceleration and vulnerable resistances, but not fully immune, just to give you a slight because it's like, you have really weak stats, and, like, maybe this is just making you a tad more desirable in exchange for your weaker health. Actually, I should probably change that to Rampage and Run Imp, because that's the thing about Raptors I've noticed a lot, especially with Troodon and actually Sinocotoraptor as well. I figured out that the good thing about Raptors is that they have simpler abilities and simpler abilities that deal lots of damage, so you can just spam between Impact, Rampage, Impact, Rampage. In Troodon's case, Rampage, 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 Rampage. You can basically do 2 times damage all the time. It's great, actually. So that's kind of the purpose of Velociraptor and company. Anyway, that's Ghost. I have not done Ghost's siblings yet, because I do not remember any of their names. Oh, I remember my story now. Like, I first heard of the Atrociraptor pack through name leaks in the toys, and there was like the names Ghost, Fire, Mirror, and, well, one other. What was it? Tiger. And I was like, oh, after thinking maybe Smilodon, maybe Miragaia, maybe Pyroraptor, eventually Indominus revealed that there are 4 Atrociraptors, and I'm like, oh, like in his Atrociraptor video, and I'm like, oh, okay, there's 4 of them, so those leaked names must be the Atrociraptors, and I actually made Atrociraptors with those names. Only for yesterday, when I did my podcast with Indominus and Orca, Indominus revealed the real names of the Atrociraptors, and I only got like 2 right, and I don't even remember what the second one was. I thought Ghost was going to be a minion, and Mirror was going to be the boss, but it turns out there is no Atrociraptor named Mirror, which means that really was... Does that mean... I'll talk about it later. It means Ghost is the boss, and I don't remember any of the others. Apparently one of them is named Panthera, but I won't do them until I fully memorize their names. They're not as catchy as Charlie, Delta, and Echo, because that's like military calls or whatever. Another fun fact is like, what was I going to say? I saw the reason I thought Mirror was the boss is because I saw toy leaks of Owen and Mirror Dino, and Macy and Mirror Dino, and I'm like, okay, that's gotta mean Mirror's the boss, right? But then, does that mean... So that I only have 2 theories for what that could be now. Either that stands for Miragaia, and Miragaia is gonna be in the movie, or they're talking about Beta. But no, it can't be Beta, because they actually have a name listing for Beta. So it's like, which is it? I'm really leaning towards Miragaia being in the movie, which honestly doesn't make too much sense, actually, now I'm saying it out loud, because, like, there's been no evidence of Miragaia being in the movie. Just a quick overview of my change on the Oviraptor, because apparently Oviraptor, if it's either that is a prologue exclusive, or it's also in the movie. But just in case it is in the movie, here are my stats. I just boosted your damage, I think. I might give you a better buff, because this is kind of a sad buff. But now we get to the big boy, the Giganotosaurus, the Giga. Or, no, sorry. The Giga. If you watch Dinosaur King, then you know that we have this. Somehow, when we were talking about brutality, or aka what's his name again? Gygus. Then we called the T-Rex there. We started talking about a Giganotosaurus replacing something, and I was like, well, I think I would prefer the Giga to be a big boss, and I just started saying the Giga, and I like the way I say it. Anyway, I know Giga teeth are meant for, like, bleeding, but I decided, because Spinosaur is already filling the role as a fierce bleeder, as well as Rhamphorhynchoid, so I think I've done enough of those. Let's go with another ferocious dinosaur. One that boosts your own damage. So what did I do to you? You have less health than the T-Rex, about the same attack, more speed. I should change that, actually. You should be about the same speed as the T-Rex. A little bit of armor, a smaller crit chance, but... oh, what's wrong with my... Why do I keep doing that? I'm not sick. Then we have... I just gave it, like, Group Ferocity Strike, Group Shattering Rampage, and Fierce Strike. No resistances. I want to make this, like, similar to a T-Rex, but different enough. Like, it's got the group attack, the Group Ferocity attack, which I've also made a change to it, which I'll have to cover when I eventually cover the Caprosuchus and company. Oh my gosh, I'm teasing a lot here. Here is the Gen 2 variant, because they're gonna add a Giga Gen 2. One cool thing they could do, the Epic variant could be the movie Giga, and the Gen 2 could be the one from Jurassic World Evolution. Yeah, that could be it. We could have the spiky-backed one and the Mega Chin one, and honestly, I think I prefer the Mega Chin over the spiky back. This one's different. It has way less attack, way less health. More speed, though. Slightly better crit chance. No armor. Ready to Crush, Group Defense Shattering Strike, and Fierce Rampage. So these two swapped, and then Ready to Crush instead of Ferocious. So, a good one. It's like, this is like an okay thing to have. Just, maybe it's one of those things where you boost up the speed of it, and then it'll be really good. But not too great. I just realized I realized about something. This Giga is just very similar to the Gorgosaurus. Very similar, but key different. Sort of different. Different enough to be like, well, it's basically the Gorgosaurus in epic tier. There you go. Here's a bonus Carcharodontosaurus, because I really want Giganotosaurus to have its own animation, and I would love Carcharodontosaurus to fill in the common tier of that animation, rather than just make it a T-Rex animation. I really hope that doesn't go down like that. Holy moly, I forgot about Iguanodon. I changed up the Iguanodon because that's also in this movie. And I assume it is going to be in the movie because it does have a toy. There's a toy of it coming out, so it must be in the movie. They wouldn't make a toy out of something that's only going to show up in, like, the first 5 minutes. Would they? I mean, would they? That is a good question. Never mind. Anyway, Thumb Spike. What is your... I just basically gave you Group Superior. I changed it up. I gave you Thumb Spike because... What was I lost my train of thought. Sorry. I think your stats, these are your actual stats, which I'm actually impressed by, but I gave you a little bit extra in the form of Thumb Spike, which is basically my move called Bait and Switch, but changed a little bit. It's a precise bypass armor attack, impact, and then it'll heal whoever has the least amount of HP. Cleanse and heal. So basically like deal damage and then heal your friend sort of move. That's, why did I do that for Iguanodon? Because Iguanodon's like a special dinosaur. It's not the same as other hadrosaurs. It has those big old thumbs to spike other dinosaurs with. So it's like, I kind of hope that one day in the future, they'll look at Iguanodon, maybe make it a little beefier than this skinny version we see here, and then also like give it like a powerful, like a new animation where it just goes a double thumb up at the enemy and then it deals this. That's something that would be really cool for Iguanodon. Even cooler when I added the Iguanodon Gen 2. So if they don't change the other Iguanodon I just mentioned, at least make a new model and make it an epic, because I love Iguanodon. Greater group heal, also Thumb Spike, same type of abilities, big, loads of attack. Wow, okay, strong. This guy's strong. And here's a bonus, Iguanosuchus from Jurassic World the game, which I've actually started playing again, and it is honestly a lot more fun than I remember, and actually way more relaxing. The only problem is that every time the first like 10 seconds of me playing the game, it'll disconnect and I have to re-enter and sometimes it won't let me back in. So that is a bit of a downside. But otherwise, I sort of rushed this one, but I could return back to it. Like I'll change emergency heal to Thumb Spike. And here's some Giganotosaurus hybrids. I've added like another one from Jurassic World the game, Giganocephalus, which has like all the abilities you've seen from the Euplocephalus, which I've also covered in a previous video, as well as the 2 abilities I've given to Giganotosaurus, and the resistances of the Euplocephalus. This creature eventually hybridizes with Ankylosaurus to make Gigakylosaurus, which is another one from Jurassic World, the game, which has a few more abilities. Do I need to rework this one? Nah, I think you're good. I think it's okay, because those are really good stats, and these are some solid resistances, and these are some okay abilities to complement all that. A solid creature. I was kind of obsessed with making Giga hybrids, especially when I found out that literally anything could be a hybrid anymore. So I just decided, you know what, Badgetonodon. It's a hybrid with Giga now. And I made like this really fierce resilient? Yeah, some sort of special healer dude. And maybe I'll rework this guy again in the future. Maybe I'll give him a ferocious heal or something. But for now, this is what I've come up with. And now there's only one thing left for me to show. Gigamort, which is like the opposite of Mortem Rex. Sorry, okay. Like 200 less damage, way more health, same speed, 40% crit chance. What else do I have here? Two group shattering abilities, Cleansing Rampage, and Ready to Crush. And then, of course, just some sort of resistances, not like full resistance. Okay, I sort of changed them around a bit compared to Mortem Rex. But still, that is pretty much all of my Dominion creations, as well as some fan creations. I can't guarantee that all of this will be coming to the game, but I can probably guess that Theri, Giga, definitely. Atrociraptors, definitely. Not sure if Ghost and the pack will join in, but I can definitely confirm Giga and Theri at least when June comes around. So guys, that is all. And I'll see you tomorrow when I do the Spinosaurs. Bye.